Alright, so what is up guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a QR code generator in Python. So as you can see here we have two QR codes, one's going to be generated in PNG format and the other one's going to be in SVG, which means you can pretty much resize it to any size you want because it is a vector graphic. But let's also open my emulator, or actually my real phone. And as you can see, the second you scan it, you'll get this QR code, and this depends on your phone of course. But here I wrote QR tutorial success, and that's what's written in this QR code. And now I'll be showing you how to write the program that will generate this and any code you want. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new project in Python, and I'm using Python 3.9 in Pycharm, and we are going to go to the terminal. And inside here we need to type pip install pyqr code. And then we have to wait for that to install. Then we can go ahead and close the terminal because that's all we need to do there. And we have to delete all of this sample code. And now we can start with the imports. So the first one we will import is pyqr code. Then we will import OS and shuttil. The next thing we want to do is create a title variable. And this is just going to be an input for the title of your file. And we're just going to call it give your QR code a title. And then we're going to create another variable, which is going to be called the text that you want to put inside the QR code. And we're just going to create another input, which will say, what would you like the QR code to say? And that will just listen for the input. So you can insert a link or some text or whatever you want. The next thing we have to go for is creating the file names. And we need a file name for the SVG, which is going to equal the title plus the string of .svg. And we're going to do the same thing for the PNG. So file underscore name underscore PNG is going to equal title plus .png. Then we're going to create a variable called URL, which is going to be pyqrcode.create. And inside here, we're going to insert the text that we want to insert into the QR code. Right below, we can refer to this variable and say .svg. And the first parameter we have to pass in is a SVG name. And we need to specify how big we want it to be. And I think a size of 8 should be fine for this, but you can experiment yourself with the sizes. And then we're going to do the same thing for the PNG. So file name PNG. And we're going to give it a scale of 10. Now, if you just want to generate files in your program, you can stop it here and it will generate the files into your QRgen folder. But I like to take it a step further usually and move all of the files into a folder on my desktop so they are easy to find. And to do this, we're going to use the os.make directory. And inside here, we're going to start by formatting the string. So we're going to use the F and we're also going to use the R. So the backslashes won't mess with the program. And the first thing we need to refer to is our main directory, which is going to be C and then backslash users, and this is going to be different depending on your own PC of course, but you should find the directory of your home folder or your desktop, and my username is Fede. And then we need to refer that we want this inside the desktop, and then we need to create a file name for this folder, which is just going to be the title I gave earlier. So that's going to create the directory in my desktop. Then we're going to use the shuttil to move the file names into that directory. So to do this, we can just go shuttil, move, and we need to format this string, so F, and inside here we're going to pass the file name PNG. Then we're going to add a comma, and we need to put the location of where we want it to be. So we can just copy this over here. And of course, you could have saved this in a variable to make it much easier to use later, but for now, this is fine. And then we're just going to copy this, so we can also do the same thing for our SVG file. So now this will take care of moving the files from our Python folder into the desktop folder that we've created. And I actually forgot to import another package, which is the pip install pypng, and you will need this to generate the PNG file. So make sure you install that as well. And I also made a small error in my username, so make sure you use the correct username and the correct path to your desktop, or this will not work. But once we have fixed all of that, we can go ahead and click on run and give our QR code a title, YouTube tutorial. And we will say subscribe to Code Palace and click on enter. And like that, it will generate your code and it will display it inside your desktop. As you can see right here, we have a new folder called YouTube tutorial. And inside here, we have an SVG version and we have the PNG version. So if we click on the PNG and we go ahead and run our camera, you will notice that it will recognize the QR code. And when we open it, it will say subscribe to Code Palace. And also when we open the SVG version, it will open in the browser of your choice and it will still work the same. The good thing about SVG is that you can zoom in as much as you want without losing the quality of the QR code. But in case you want the PNG file, that is there as well. But that's actually all I wanted to show you in this tutorial. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you.